What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up! April is here. My content is still top tier. We got 11 humans found inside animals. Some educationalists, because you guys gotta remember that these animals are not your friend. They will eat you in a second. Check it out.
Hey guys,
I got some goodies.
From
Breakfast sampler from my house.
Home to a scary encounter.
I already explained it once, don't need to do it again.
Here are
and I prayed before the video, by the way.
Were found inside animals. Viewer beware.
Let's check it out.
Number 11, Akbar Salubiro. This story takes place in a small village in Indonesia, where a man named Akbar Salubiro went missing after he set off for a harvest in his village. After being gone for some time, the man's friends and family went to go and search for him. When they did, they found themselves looking at a massive reticulated python, one of the biggest snakes in the world today. In fact, this one was measured at over 23 feet in length.
Really?
When the villagers looked at the python, they noticed that there was something large in its body. Clearly a meal it had just eaten.
Right.
If you didn't know, many snakes like this like to swallow their prey whole, and then they let the food break down over time. Regardless, the people feared the worst, so they caught the python and started cutting it open. Sure enough, Akbar's body was within the snake, and it was later noted that he had been constricted by the python, which is its preferred method of killing its prey, and then it swallowed him whole. It should be openly stated, though, that while Akbar did die from this snake, most reticulated pythons and other snakes of its size don't go after humans that often. That's mainly because humans are oddly shaped, and are often in good shape, so it's hard for a snake to be able to attack you and then swallow you whole. Though clearly this python was able to get around the disadvantage. Number 10, a human arm.
If he had a knife in his pocket, bro, that person had a knife in his pocket or something, bro, he would have been alive.
In good shape, so it's hard for a snake to be able to attack you.
That's a terrible way to go out, bro.
Though clearly this python was able to get around that disadvantage. Number 10, a human arm. In 1935, a pair of brothers decided to go fishing off the coast of Australia. At one point, they prepared their lines, cast them, and then went to sleep. And when they woke up, they found their fishing line frayed and a bunch of fish parts all over it. A shark actually helped to solve a crime. So have you ever had a close encounter with a shark? Did you see fins circling while you were at the beach? You get as far away from the water as possible. Shark attacks are rare, but they can really catch you by surprise. Tell me about your shark encounters in the comments below. Then be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and get quick access to the next awesome video coming out soon. Number 9, the remains in the croc. The South Alligator River in Australia is actually a bit of a misnomer in terms of what's there. It was named because it was believed that alligators happily roamed in the area. And that's not exactly true, but it's close. Alligators don't live in that part of the world, but their cousins do.
I thought alligators lived in Florida.
Its main predator and inhabitant is the deadly saltwater crocodile. That happens to be the largest crocodile species in the world today, as well as one of the most aggressive species of croc. This was proven in 2014 at Kakadu National Park. An older man and his family were going across a body of water at Kakadu when suddenly a 16-foot saltwater croc came out of the water, snatched him, and disappeared with him in the water.
Damn!
After he disappeared, park rangers went and searched for him, and they did shoot 2 crocs that appeared to have been the culprits. One of them did indeed have human remains in their body, and after a DNA test, it was confirmed to be the victim.
Oh my gosh, bro, that sucks.
Number 8. James Bartley, a modern-day Jonah.
Bro, I would literally give an alligator. Bitch, you are not taking me, bro.
On the tombstone of James Bartley. If you don't know, Jonah was a man from the Christian Bible that disobeyed God, and as a result of that, he got swallowed by a whale. So what does that have to do with James Bartley? Well, he too got swallowed by a whale, a sperm whale in fact. Though ironically, his tail is a little more like Captain Ahab in...
A sperm whale? Why is it a whale if it's a sperm?
Moby Dick than Jonah's, at least at first, because in the late 19th century, James Bartley owned a whaling vessel. The vessel itself came under attack by a sperm whale right off the Falkland Islands. During the attack, it's said that Bartley was indeed swallowed whole by the whale. Later on, the whale died of constipation, another irony, and it was caught by the cares of Bartley. And this is where the twist comes in.
You needed some greens, bro.
Because according to the story, the whalers that caught the sperm whale skinned it to get at its meat. When they did, Bartley was in the whale and still alive, as he'd only been in the whale for about 36 hours.
What?
His body was bleached because of the various things in the whale, and he was blind, but he was still alive. The problem, though, is that this story is heavily disputed, including many stating that a human would likely not be able to survive in a whale without suffocating or even drowning.
Not even that, like, how you not have
The
food? Like, what?
story endures, and it's something that makes you kind of wonder.
What if that somebody does that a movie? Is that a movie yet? So, like, somebody been swallowed by a whale and then just, like, there's life inside of a whale. I just gave somebody a trillion dollar idea.
From Indonesia, in the village known as Sulawesi, and it too features a person getting swallowed whole by a serpent. However, this time it was a woman named Watiba, who was 54 when it happened to her. She was checking out her vegetable garden when suddenly she vanished from sight. As the villagers looked around, they found her sandal and her machete. As they continued searching, they once again found a reticulated python.
Oh no.
And this one too had a rather large belly that clearly had something or someone in it.
Damn.
They then killed the snake and then took it to a place where they could film gutting it. And when they did, they found Watiba inside. Like the previous snake victim, she had been constricted to death, and this allowed the snake to swallow her whole. One can only imagine the thoughts of the villagers after they lost 2 of their own to these serpents. Number 6, Michael Ford. In Florida, within Polk Country, the police were called to a nearby mine. Why? According to one employee, they had seen an alligator on the premises, and the jaw of said beast was clamped down around a human body, or at least part of one. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission came in to investigate, and they were able to capture the alligator and then kill it. They would then find Michael Ford partially inside of the creature.
What?
The gator itself was 12 feet long and weighed over 450 pounds. It was more than big enough to kill a human and start eating it should the need arise. The mystery of this story is how this all happened. No one knows why Michael Ford was near that mine or near that canal, and whether he was killed by the gator or drowned and the alligator simply ate him. Number 5, Sam Kellen. There are various shark species that are known to attack humans in great numbers if the circumstances are right, but the act of truly eating a human, and doing so in a complete and whole fashion, is honestly a bit more limited. While sharks are widely known to attack humans for various reasons, they're usually fine with just killing us, not eating us. One major exception to this rule, though, was Sam Kellen. He was a 28-year-old teacher who was diving and spearfishing in southern Australia during 2014.
Really?
He was near Edithborough and doing his thing when suddenly a shark came around, attacked him, and swallowed him whole. The attack was so complete that the only thing found from Sam after the attack were his diving weights and his spear gun, showing the totality of the action on the shark's part. This is a very atypical kind of shark attack because, again, sharks don't feed on people. They attack them, but eating them so completely is not common amongst shark species. Even great whites don't do that. What might be the most curious thing of all was that the family of Sam didn't want the shark hunted down or killed, nor any other shark in the area. He knew he was a visitor in their backyard, and the last thing he would want for this shark or any other is to be hunted down and culled, they said in a statement released via South Australian police. Number 4, tiger shark hand. In 2019, a tiger shark was found and killed near Reunion, a French island that's right outside of Madagascar.
Madagascar!
It was something that no one expected. The hand of a Scottish man, complete with his wedding ring.
Is he flicking somebody off?
Why the tiger shark was cut open, that's because it was seen multiple times near the beach of the island, thus near people. The shark was killed to prevent attacks from happening, and after they cut it open, the hand was found. Apparently, the man was a tourist, and he went into the water to go and explore as he was a strong swimmer. However, this is apparently where he met the shark, and the rest, as they say, is history. Number 3, Ricky Gagnon. You might think that these stories only happen every so often, but this tale comes from very recently, July of 2020 in fact. Ricky Gagnon was a 14-year-old teenager living in Malaysia, and one day he decided to do a little bit of exploring and searching for things. Soon he had vanished, and a missing person report was filed. But according to his aunt, he was snatched by a saltwater crocodile. After finding the saltwater croc in question, the 15-foot beast was cut open and Ricky's body was indeed found inside, or at least certain parts of it were. The family was given the remains so they could do a proper funeral. Number 2. Finger in snapping turtle.
Sheesh.
While most turtles are fair to be considered harmless, the exception to the rule is that of the snapping turtle, especially ones like the alligator snapping turtle. It's
An
clear that
alligator
they are known to
snapping
be
turtle?
aggressive and not afraid to bite things at the drop of
It's
a
crazy
hat.
because I felt a snapping turtle back in the day before when I was at a zoo called Lion Country Safari in West Palm Beach. I just didn't have the cameras on. And I timed it right because they were just like, put your finger in there real quick and then, take it out. You know what I'm saying? Because them things bite you. Now, the dude didn't tell me to do that. I did it myself. They tell you to pet the thingy on top and don't touch whatever. What's that Lion Country Safari? It's some, whatever. It was somewhere at a zoo in Florida. I did that, and then nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have quick reflex with a snapping turtle.
Now, one Louisiana fisherman found this out in a shocking way in 2018, because said fisherman caught an alligator snapping turtle, and after preparing the creature, found a human finger inside the turtle's stomach. Who the finger belonged to was discovered.
I'm eating!
Number 1. Andy S.O. Orang. On the island of Borneo, the search for a man named Andy S.O. Orang began after he was reported missing. However, his body was soon found, in large part. His arm and his leg were missing. Not far from the body was a 20-foot-long saltwater crocodile.
Dang, is that a steak?
It was killed, it was discovered that the remaining body parts of Andy were inside of it.
Ugh.
It's believed that Andy got caught by the croc and then was drowned and put into a death roll that allowed the croc to go and eat his limbs. Thanks
Damn.
for watching. What did you think
Sad
of
way
these
to go out,
stories?
man. Be
Which
careful
one-
out there after you see brothers and sisters. If it looks dangerous, it is. As usual, man. Coming down below, that's your react to next, man. On the road to 4 million, man.